Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Central Virginia fishing report with Ethan Martin of TaleTellers Fly Shop. How are you doing today, Ethan?
I'm doing great today. How about yourself?
Just trying to stay out of trouble. What's the newest in the fishing situation in the Lynchburg area?
Well, it's been good. I mean, the weather has been really cooperative. We had a good shot of rain last week, so our small streams are all filled up and the fish are everywhere. I was cut off the water just a couple hours ago, and we had a pretty good day. I mean, the boats are moving. It's been warm, so it's should be good. The only thing you might be fighting on the small streams would be the wind with the little tiny 3 weights. That can sometimes be annoying, but in most instances you can get around that. And then on the James side of things, and then the other bigger rivers, I mean, that, like I said, last week we got a good shot of rain, so they're still up a little bit. But in a couple more days, if we don't get a ton of rain, which I think they're calling for like one evening or night or something like that of rain. So it really, with those things, we just need a couple of days for it to kind of calm down and then not a huge dump. But the fishing has been good. The guys that have been able to get out, they've been catching some big pre-spawn smallmouth. So yeah, it's a good time to be out.
Yeah, and on the smallmouth situation, is that kind of a streamer game right now? Is it warm enough that they're starting to chase streamers?
Subsurface stuff, yeah, it's going to be the main thing, like claudads, that sort of stuff. Anything that gets down, hellgrammites. You could try throwing like an unweighted CK bait fish or something in that realm if you have a sinking line. But the main thing is just getting stuff down, and then it's going to be kind of low and slow. But you just never know which fish is going to be interested in chasing and which one is not. That's kind of the thing is, fish are moody like people, and so you might go through one hole where the fish don't care about chasing something down, and then go to the next one, and then there's a fish that's hot that wants to come and kill whatever it is that you're throwing at it. So it's kind of one of the things, if you want to throw streamers, then heck, throw streamers.
Yeah.
And you'll find fish. You're looking for that one fish, or you're looking for that like 5 fish rather than, how can I catch the absolute most fish in this river today? So that's the question you just got to ask yourself.
Yeah, so it sounds like most of the fish are still pretty low in the water column and kind of stuck to the bottom. And I guess in terms of water on the smallmouth front, is it kind of that soft water on the edges and in the eddies? Is that where you're going to find them right now?
Yeah, main thing. I mean, they're going to be staging up, getting ready to spawn, but that would be the main places that I would focus on, is exactly where you said. So if it's me, I would have absolutely no problem going up there, throwing a clawdad, something to get it down on the bottom, and then just working those soft spots or like drop offs, that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of different ways, you can tell when they eat it if you can't actually feel the thing tug. That makes sense. Like if you just throw a mend or two so you can make sure that the fly gets down, and then you watch the tip of your fly line. If you see that thing like jolt forward or anything like that, you just trip set and lift the rod. And that's a pretty easy way because, you might not always have a fish on, but one of those times you'll do that, and then there she is. So it's a fun way to fish.
Yeah, as they say, hook sets are free. What are you seeing on the Trout Streams?
So today we saw a bunch of the yellow sallies, which is to be expected here. And then we saw kind of a hodgepodge of insects that were all hatching. So we probably 80% of the fish that we caught today, we did catch on nymphs. And we started a little early. I think we got on the water like 10 and we're out till about 3. So towards the end of the day, they're going to start looking up more. So we just had a dry dropper rig on with yellow sally on the top, and then the nymph just kind of switched around with a bunch of stuff. And I'm trying to think of what nymphs used, like a prince nymph, but it's got an orange bead head. Started with that, caught a couple fish on it. The CK nymph in yellow, that's always a great one this time of year. Caught fish on that. Psycho prince in yellow, caught fish on that. So like this time of the year, the thing that I tell people is just, which is kind of any time of the year, but fish wherever the fish are, which makes sense, obviously. But so like, I don't get too hung up on the exact pattern. I get more hung up on, so if you come to a place and the water is moving pretty good, rolling down the waterfall, fill in the blank, I'm not going to walk up to that with a size 18 parachute Adams and slap it down in the water and just assume that a fish is going to be able to see that thing. So I'm kind of constantly changing patterns throughout the day to what can the fish in that environment see. So there are times where I'll have a dry dropper rig on with 2.5 foot of line between the dry fly and the dropper with a big heavy nymph and a big heavy fly. And that's where I'll fish those bigger waterfalls, that sort of stuff, plunge pools. And then when I will get to a spot where it's like calm and soft, I'll just switch real quick and put on like a size 16 yellow elk hair caddis. We did that today. And we caught fish doing that. So I kind of constantly change my patterns or the flies that I'm using throughout the day based on where I'm trying to fish them. So that's one of the main like tips that you can have when you're fishing the little small streams is you can go up there with just a parachute Adams and you'll catch fish. Just focus on the soft water. You're going to catch fish. But when you want to start catching a lot of fish or, like maximize your time out on the water, then just take the extra minute or 2 minutes that it might take you to switch rigs or to extend your dropper or to change your dry fly, and you're going to catch a lot more fish. So that's the main really tip that you can use right now, because brook trout, like today, we're everywhere throughout the stream. In the wintertime or in like summer when you fish them in the summer, they're most of the time they like to congregate in the deepest pool that they can find. But like today, you could be in something that was like shin deep water and cast into it, and then here's a 6-inch brook trout. So they kind of spread out everywhere. They're all eating. They're all active. It's really a great time to be on the small streams if you like catching fish.
Yeah, absolutely. And the great news is I looked at the weather forecast before I got on with you, and it looks like you're going to have pretty warm weather for the next 10 days or so with not a lot of chances for rain. So it ought to just be amazing if you can safely get out and get on the water.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next couple of days. I'm excited.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you remind everybody about kind of how the operation is working on the retail side at TaleTellers, about how they can get hooked up with their fishing gear and their tying materials while you're, I guess, technically closed to traditional walk-in foot traffic.
Yeah, so the main thing is, like you said, we're technically closed to just walk-in foot traffic. So if you just like walk up to the doors, they're going to be locked and the light's going to be off. Pretty much every day I'm in here at some point throughout the day. So like orders that are coming in online or over the phone, all that stuff is being shipped out same day. As long as it's ordered before 3, it's going to be going out the same day. But like there have been instances, and as long as people are fine with it, and I've got a mask, if that makes people feel comfortable. But if you want to come in to like look at a rod, or if you want to come in to pick up, you basically, it's like, if you know what you're interested in, then it's fine if you come in. But that way it just kind of keeps minimum contact, and I don't have like too many people in here to where I can't keep it sanitary for my health and then for everybody else's as well. So you can definitely get in contact with us. I'm still here. You can still get what you need. Most stuff is still in stock. We're having some issues, with companies that have shut down. So some products I can't get until everything reopens, but that's very few. So yeah, we're here.
Yeah, and you got free shipping too, right?
Absolutely, yeah, free shipping on any order. So it's hard to beat that.
Absolutely. Any updates in terms of access enclosures and things like that?
The main thing right now is just the Shenandoah National Park still closed, fishing and angling. I heard the other day that they closed the stretch of the Greenway on the Roanoke in Roanoke. So like if you're trying to fish down there, you got to go to the Salem side. So those are the main ones that I've heard of. The Virginia actually stopped announcing when they're doing their stocking, which to my knowledge has helped. You're not getting that huge flood of people on a stream. So actually the reports I've been hearing is that people have been catching more fish, even on the stock streams, because they're not getting just absolutely hammered. So it's a good time to get out. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And in our area, there's not a lot of closures. Main thing is just keep a good distance away from other people. And even if you don't care, just do it for the sake of the fact that you want to keep fishing on that stream and you don't want them to shut it down.
Yeah, there you go. And, folks, remember, we love questions on the Articulate Fly. If you send us a question on the Articulate Fly Facebook page and we read it, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag. We'll enter you into a drawing for something from the shop at the end of the season. Ethan's always done a great job in the past of coming up with something neat. And before I let you go, Ethan, why don't you let folks know where they can find you so they can either order online or leave you a message and stop by the shop and do a quick pickup?
Yeah, you can find pretty much all our inventory at TaleTellersEA.com. We're obviously in the shop here. We're in downtown Lynchburg, which is 920 Commerce Street. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, email, all that jazz. And if you have questions, you can always call the shop as well. I'm the only person answering phones right now. So if you got a question, you call. I'll be the person that you talk to.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, get out if you can. Be responsible. Look out for yourself. Look out for your fellow man and your family. And we'll all be together on the water again soon. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Ethan.